Hey guys, welcome back to CloudBuy. These portions of the video I am going to discuss how to back up a Oracle Business Suite environment using the Oracle eBusiness Suite Cloud Backup module. Now, you know that Oracle eBusiness Suite environment could be backup in a different way. You can take your offline backup of the Oracle database. You can take an online backup using RMAN, different tools using export, import. You can take a file system backups of the eBusiness Suite application site. Why do I need this Oracle eBusiness Suite Cloud Backup module? Okay, this particular cloud backup module is purposefully needed whenever we are trying to doing a lift and shift method to migrate the on-premises Oracle eBusiness Suite from on-premises to the Oracle Cloud, like in the compute instance. That is where we need these things. We used to take the backup, and using the Oracle Cloud Manager, you can take the backup and we can do the migrate using the lift and shift. So I am going to discuss right now how to do that. Okay, you know that in my earlier discussions, we have already shown you that how to the single instance Oracle eBusiness Suite, and we have done that. So we already having a instance now which is running here. This is running here for my Oracle eBusiness Suite. Now if I'll discuss something like so I'll just open a new page, save. Okay, now the situation is like that. So we got a Oracle eBusiness Suite installed here in a box, eBiz. Okay, just for the sake of understanding, please think this is inside our on-prem. Okay, this is not in cloud, this is on-prem. Both the database and DB plus apps is running here. Okay, DB plus apps. Okay, now I want to migrate this whole thing into the cloud, OCI cloud. All right. For that, what I need to do, I have to do the lift and shift method to migrate the entire data to cloud. So for that, I will be using this DB Cloud Backup tool. For DB Cloud Backup tool, what I am going to do, I will be using another instance, a compute instance. It could be anywhere. I will be installing this thing, another compute instance. It could be on-prem. It could be the same node. Ideally, other node, because the same cloud manager can cater multiple request. You have to configure that way. Say this is another host. Here I have to use the cloud backup module. Okay, now what I have to do, that this is cloud and this is not cloud, say. So what I have to do, that I will be installing this cloud, the DB backups and all this thing. It is there in the file system, say FS1 or whatever, and the DB, some file systems is stored. What I have to do, that I will be installing the cloud here in using some patch. Patch is nothing but a kind of a it will create a file systems. It will create some files and directories. So for here, first I will be creating a connection, SSH connections from here to here. So that the same way, like I logging to the my box, eBiz box, the same way the SSH connections I will be creating from here, so that it can access that particular backup tool will run from here. It can access these file systems. Okay, then I will also use some kind of OCI details, like my user details, some tenancy, some other stuff, and I will take the backups. I will store these things in some object store. Okay, so that what will happen, the next time I'll do the lift and shifts, the Oracle Cloud Manager, say suppose I will have another thing, I am not going to do that. Say I will have a Cloud Manager, it will use these things and it will transfer into the OCI cloud. So that means these things, suppose there is another box in the OCI cloud and this is my on-prem, so it will restore using this backup stored in the object storage. So first things, what I am going to do, that I am going to create a compute instance, okay, and then I will be enabling, I will be creating this the download the patch and install the patch here. That means I will be having the software, required software, then the 3, this is 2, 3. What I am going to do, I will be enabling the SSH connection so that this server can connect to the SSH, okay. And the third steps I am doing what I will be running the configuration scripts, this is Perl scripts. So they will be having multiple levels of input will be needed. So I'll be show you what are the input. There will be input needed for the cloud backup level. This will be input needed for the EBS level. The input will be needed for the OCI level. The input will be needed for the object storage level. So all the inputs, then the backup will be, then the backup request can taken. Okay. So we'll be discuss everything. Okay. So please be with me and let's start with the things. As I said, so I'll be creating another instance, maybe since name as a backup. Here I will be using the same VCN, but doesn't need to be in the same BKM. Only the thing that in between the connection should be there. I'll change the shape. Shape is good, Oracle Line should be good. I'll be just changing this. Image is good, shape, because I want to create a free instance, free version, because that is enough for me. I'll be so pasting my public key, boot volume, whatever, it is fine. So create. So once it is create, I believe my instance is already up and running. Yeah, let me log into my instance. Okay, let me go to the root and create a folder and and just give some permissions, random permissions, all permissions to files 1. This is where I'll install my, I'll put my directory. Okay. Here it was my things. So this is created, the patch I'm going to download. I'll be requiring some kind of post access, and after that I establish the SSH connections. Now the next steps, as I said, I have to create this SSH permissions in between that. If I'll just try to SSH, it won't, even the ping won't work because the no SSH connections has been created. Like instance, if I'll go for this instance, this doesn't, I don't think so ping will work. Ping is working because there is some connection, but SSH connections won't work. Okay, I want a passwordless SSH connections. Let me try the SSH connection if it is working. Say Oracle, although I have not set up the Oracle password here. Let me set up the Oracle password as well. Okay, let me say if it is working for me. Otherwise I have to set up the Oracle password. No, it says denied. Okay, so because I have to create the SSH keygen and the password things. Okay, that is not a great, easy, that is not a difficult thing, because whenever I will create the new Oracle compute instance itself, the same time we have to create the using the SSH keygen. So I'll be doing the same things here. I'll be going to the .ssh folder, since I'll be using the root predominantly. Okay, and I'll be using Ssh Keygen. This is the default folder. Yes. Do I want to create a passphrase? This is optional. Both will work. You don't need to give in a passphrase, but there is no hard and fast requirement that you can even give the passphrase. Let me give a passphrase. Okay, so what I got a RSA key and public and private. Okay, so the public key I am going to copy. Sorry. Okay, where I will going to copy? I'll copy. This is my apps folder where the apps is running. I'll going to copy in authorize key files. So I'll be using vi authorize key. Okay, and I'm going to copy the stubs here. Okay, now if I'll try to SSH and it's asking for the passphrase. Yes, now it is working, right? Okay, so my requirements of having this the SSH connections from my backup tool where I install the backup module tool to the apps e-business suite is performed. What is the next things? The next thing is that I'll just want to show you it here. Here this is my Oracle home for the backup. Oracle home is running here. Okay, and this is my apps env file and this is my database env file. So I source my database env file and I log into my database. Okay, I have to sorry, I have sourced the wrong one. I have sourced the apps. It should be db. Okay, now this is my database is running. There is another thing, there is a hard requirement. I just want to show you that currently the database archive destinations, it's under the DBS, the Oracle home. There is a requirement that it should be outside the Oracle home. Now otherwise my cloud backup configuration will fail. Okay, I'll let it be fail because I just want to show you what is the error it gets, and then I'll fix it. I'll change the locations afterwards. Okay, so this destination has to be changed. Okay, otherwise this will fail. But just for the sake of this video, I just want to show you that what is the error you are going to get. Okay, create a backup with the Oracle e-business suite cloud backup module. This is the master node. This is the most recent one. Okay, and so here we have to run some Perl scripts, but to do that, first what we have to do that you have to install the backup module. So backup module comes as a patch. So I already download the patches and I put it in my files one folder. So I'm going to unzip it now. Okay, Now you can see inside this thing there is a remote clone directory. I'll go inside. Now this is the file, this is the script I have to run. This is now there is a two prerequisites because this is a PAL script. There is a two PAL installations. PAL's package should be there. One is with PAL JSON and another is PAL switch. Otherwise it's already installed for me, otherwise you will get a error like the PAL JSON is not missing and the PAL switch is missing. So I'll just show you the command, something like that, yum install PAL JSON. It will say that it is already installed. Yes, already installed. The second thing is PAL switch. So these two things should be installed. You have to install through the yum for OEL or for Red Hat. Now I am going to run these things in the PAL ABSC. First is said that it wants to create backup, e-business suite backup upload to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Yes. Do you have a proxy? No, I don't have any proxy. If you use a proxy, please say yes. I say no. 2. Fully qualified host names. My host name is apps.example.com. This is the host name server where my apps is installed. So if I'll see this thing, etc host, yes, apps.example.com. OS user Oracle. OS user password, it's not required because I already established the connections. OS customs private key, it's not required because it's already installed in the it's already set up in the default locations. Passphrase, yes, I have to do that. Context files, it's asking for database context files. Okay, another thing just I want to say it here. This is my backup folders. Another things I did, otherwise it could not able to connect, like if I SSH, I have to SSH this way. Example apps.example.com. It will ask for the passphrase. Yeah, why it could do that, otherwise it could not able to do that because it's able to ping as well. Two things required. I already mentioned about the security list. Okay, the second thing is that I put up an entry in the etc host file as well. Okay, otherwise it could not able to do. Sorry, not here. Here, otherwise it could not able to understand what is apps.example.com. So these two things are required. Context files, I'll go again to the apps. This is my database. Okay, so I'll go to my Oracle home, that is 19, and I will source my database env file. I just source the right env files and then the context files. I'll close this thing, too many sessions are running. Okay, database transparent, data encrypted, let's put yes. Wallet passwords, let's put a password, yes. Stage directory, I'll put as a files. Enter source application tiers, I don't have any proxy, so say no. Enter fully qualified hostname. For me is a single tier installations is same, apps.example.com. OS username Oracle. Password skip, private key skip, passphrase, I'll put the passphrase. Context files, this times I have to put the application context files, it's already sourced here. Apps password, I know, yes. stage directory I'll put as a files1. WebLogic server admin passwords, you know that this is a startup script. There is a admin password is mentioned. It is context1, it is welcome1. Backup identifier tag, you can put any tag. I put EBS backup1. Backup thread count, as per the document you can put 4, 2, whatever. I'll put 2. TGZ tar ggf configurations parameter path. Okay, there is something I have not discussed about the advanced configuration parameter path. Let me discuss here. I'll open another session because I don't want to cancel this one. I'll go to root. Now here you can see there is something called EBS metadata, and there is something called template, and inside this there is a template file. It's for advanced configurations. Let me copy the file. I'll show you what is there inside and what the things you can change. Let me copy here. And I could have changed the name. That would be, say, arman.txt. Let me open the arman.txt. I'll show you what is there and what you can change. There are multiple things. Arman channel count, you can put say 2, 4. I'll put 2. Compression algorithm, basics, low, medium. Okay, it's good. Section size is 64 GB. Validation, validate, true or false. You can true or false, whatever you can do. Arman file per set. Arman max open files. Arman rate. Okay. I don't know what is there. Let not put. There is so many things you can change here. Okay, so only things I change once, that is good. I am good with that. Let me put the location as a files1 arman.txt. Encryption password, let me put 1 again. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure proxy details. I don't have any proxy to OCI. Now this is interesting. I am going to create a users and will show you from the beginning. Let me create a users. I'll choose IAM user. If I'll choose a federated users, I have to do lot of stuffs. Say backup. Like I have to go to the username, email level. I have to authenticate. So I'll just choose a backup user. IAM user. These are optional, so I'll create a user immediately. I'll add the user to the group. I already have a administrator groups. I'll choose add. So this is my users. I am going to take this backup users for this backup. It's asking for the OCI. How to get OCI? This is the OCI. So I'll just copy. Say Oracle Cloud Fingerprint. These things I have to do some kind of steps. How to get the fingerprint. Now you can see this is the Oracle document itself. So if I scroll down, there is a generating API signing key. Okay, what it says, you have to go to the app server. Okay, so I'll go to the another sessions of app server. This is app server, so I'll go here. I'll create called OCI mkdir, sorry, .oci. Okay, Then okay, first of all, in Oracle Cloud level, it doesn't, though it says about you can put some kind of password with the passphrase, but ideally I have seen this passphrase doesn't happen. Maybe the lift and shift method also passphrase doesn't happen in the, so cloud backups, you should not give the passphrase. So I'll be creating without passphrase, because that's otherwise in the passphrase I have seen this, it could not affect, it was asking for the, it could not get the password, and it was prompting for the password independently, so it doesn't work that way. This OCI folder, now I'll be creating this. First I will be creating this private key file. I'll put as a name as a CloudVi API key private.pm. okay, next I will be provided some permissions, read, write, execute. The next steps, what I am going to do, I will be creating the generate the public key from the private key. So the in will be private key input, and the output will be public key. Here I'll be putting as a CloudVi API key public.pem. okay, so I got the both the public key and the private key. Now what the what it says, I'll go back to here, sorry, cloud fingerprint. So what I have to do, cloud fingerprint, create a cloud fingerprint, I have to go to the user again. okay, so I'll go for the API keys, I'll add the API key and paste the public key here. So for the pasting the public key, I have to source the public key, cat the public key, and then paste it here. So I'll cat the public key which I have created just now, copy the entire portions, go to here, paste, add, close. Here you can see that once I'll add this thing, there is a fingerprint, so I'll copy the fingerprint portions. okay, what it says, the cloud user private key path, the private key path which I have already created, just now created, it is it's private key, so this is a private key. Yes, for the abstract is also same, because my both the types in a single instance. What is a cloud tenancy OCID? For the cloud tenancy OCID, what you have to do, you have to go to the user profile, tenancy, okay, copy, cloud region, my region is US Ashburn 1. Cloud tenant name, my tenant name is CloudVi. What is a cloud compartment OCID? Go to the, for cloud compartment, the easiest thing is that you go to the object storage, take any object compartment, yeah, take the OCID from here, copy the OCID. okay, name, target database type, compute. Okay, now if you remember, I said since we have not changed the archive path, it is going to be failed. So just I will show you, because I want to show you the what the changes we will be doing afterwards. Okay, so I'll put a compute, yes. So now it will do some kind of validations. In the validations will happen in this these old folders in the, not this one, sorry, here. Okay, so validation failed. I'll check the basic validation why it is failed. I believe the purpose is same what I said earlier. Okay, this is something funny. Backup identifier tag should be started with the alphabet followed by the alphanumeric characters. Okay, good. I have to run it again. This time should be good. Only a few things, only the passcode. Yeah, the tag I have just removed this things. I believe it's better. Okay, I'm running again. This time it should fail in the backup validation, the database validation sections. I can see some of the validation steps what is showing here, like, you know, it's try to use these SSH key passphrase, SSH keys, and try to log in and do some kind of validations in the database database as well as the apps tiers. Okay, currently is doing the EBS tiers validations. You can see that it is some of the steps are successful, that's why it is trying to validate whatever taking this private key file from the root SSH ID SSA. Once this apps tier validations will succeed and complete, that it will start the validation for the DB tier, and there I am expecting the error for the archive block destinations. I could have skipped these things, it will save some time, but just I want to show you how the error looks. Yeah, it's also check the admin tier is up and running. I believe now this is the stage where it will go for the database tier validations. It's checked all the prerequisites patches, because as I said, since it is a Oracle installations for me using a AMI, all the patches are there. If you using for your on-premises database or something like that, you need to have some kind of patches prerequisites. So here you can see that database validations logs. I am expecting the error soon. In the there is a sub-checking the group of archive block destinations where the error will come, and it will show you that what the error looks like, what the error says. Database connection is validated. The next things, I believe, this archive blocks. Yeah, here you can see the error, if I am not wrong. Error comes, please archive destinations, please set it up. It is currently set it inside the Oracle home, please set it outside the Oracle home. This is a Oracle, it's the error comes. Okay, that is the sole things I want to show you, so I'll doing it immediately. Okay, and now what I am going to do, that I will be changing the location. Now it is outside this Oracle home, it should work now. I'll have to run it from the scratch again. Okay, so as I said, I'll use the compute. So this file backup you use for all these things, compute, VMDB, etc. Now it will run the all the steps. It will first do the basic validation, it will do the apps level validations, it will do the DB validations, then it will do the cloud level validations. Also let's wait something, hopefully everything should be good. So the apps level validation is currently running. I'll just try to show you what are the validations. As I already said last time, already shown you last time, this is the validation is working. Once the validations happens, the DB validations will start. So we have to look that the archive level validation should be okay this time. So it validates the apps, it validates the application static space, it validates the WS domain. Now it is starting validating the database. Also it started validating the database connections from the app side. Now it is validating the Oracle Web Logic admin server status. Admin server is running. You can see that. Already checked this. We already done the validations earlier as well. Here comes the database validations. Hopefully this time it should go through. Similarly, it's check the file system, it's check the connections, it checks the all the status. We'll wait for this. Here comes archive logs. Yeah, it's validated successfully because this is outside. Now okay, let's proceed with something else. Now it is checking something else. Once the database validation is complete, it will go for the infrastructure validations. You can see some of the stuffs we have changed in the admin configuration file. This is showing here. Now the next thing is the infrastructure validation starts. Let's check the BMCS, like whatever the Oracle OCI level credentials, all the details we have provided, fingerprints, everything it checks. Still no is there, good. So once everything is verified, then it will go for the backing up. Now you can see the backup is already started. Now this backup is running in the apps file systems. So if I'll go there, you can see this the backup is already running. There is a pre-clone is running, and then thereafter that RMAN level backup will start. So it's basically RMAN backup for the database, and that the file system backup for things. This is pre-clone is running now. So once this is done, it will be RMAN backup will start. So we'll wait for RMAN backups to start, and thereafter we'll this RMAN backup is started. Yeah, you can see this backup. So backup process is a very long process. Since it's the demo database size is also quite big, so it's takes a long time. It's based on the what kind of database compute instance size and the resources you choose. Mine have a 1 CPU and 16 gigabytes of RAM, so it could have taken a kind of a more than an hour or hour kind of. So I'll be showing these things, how the backup looks. a little bit later, because there will be a separate I'll show you here. There will be a separate object storage bucket created for the backup, and then all the backups are stored there. You can see that EBS backup today, so not today, it's yeah, it is a UTC time today. There is a heartbeat and SBT catalog, so the backup is going to go there. There will be similar object storage for the apps backup. Now this portion maybe I'll just want to show you after once the backup is completed how it looks like. Okay, you see that this is a there will be a DB RMN backups, there will be the post backup logs, there will be apps tier pre-clone logs. It will run the apps pre-clone, this will take a backups and all these things. Okay, so this kind of backups, it will take a tar backup, then it will copy these things, then it will tar and zz. This kind of things will happen. This will take a sweet time. This will take all the modules one by one. It will take a backup. It will take its own sweet time. Apps level backup itself is taking some kind of 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, one thing I just want to discuss before conclude the video. If you remember, I said that this backup is required for the lift and shift at the time of migrations. If you go by the document, here in the document they have mentioned about some different steps. They have they have mentioned about some of the backup tool they are having. It comes with the different different patch number. I believe the patch number is they are saying here. Yeah, they are saying about the different patch number, and since the patch is different, though it is it's comes with the same name, the PAL file, the version is different. It's also EBSC cloud backup.pl. The only different things is there apart from the steps what we have discussed. The only things here that this is the different steps here there. Like here we have discussed about we have given this OCID. We have not provided any passwords. We have not provided any cloud service endpoint. We have not provided any cloud identity domain, and we have not. So this is the three steps are different. We have here we have given the fingerprint. We have given this OCID. We have given this kind of steps. Here they are asking directly username and password. So we have to create say. If this is my users, I could have reset password, okay, or I could have create the new password for that. This is the new password. This is one. Second thing, storage cloud service endpoint. Storage cloud service endpoint, I believe. So there is a list of public endpoint, and we have to give the service endpoint here, cloud service endpoint for particular region. This is mostly based on the region. And then Oracle Cloud Identity Domain.